Hey guys and gals, let's have a look at the Enchanted Treehouse by Lego Disney. This is set number 43215. Contains 1,010 bricks, retails for $159.99, and the set was provided to me by the Lego Group for early review. So here we have what appears to be 13 minifigures, and we'll cover those in a later segment. Looks like we get to build an awesome, if you want to call it a tree house, I'm not really sure. And it's got a lot of pink and purple and some light blue in there. I don't know, it looks pretty fun. I'll have to give this one a whirl. And here's the back of the box with all of its features. So it looks like maybe it could be modular. I don't know. I'm hoping this is a family build, would even be better. And I remember these spiral stairs, and that zip line looks pretty cool. Well, not too bad, but what does this look like in person? Well, let's take a look. Before we visit the Enchanted Treehouse, let's take a quick look at the mini dolls. So here we have Alice, Belle, Princess Jasmine, then we have Mirabel and Moana, Mulan, Pocahontas, I don't know how I forgot her name. Then we have Raya, Tiana, and then we have Peter Pan. No, I'm just kidding. That's Tinker Bell. Wendy. Then we have Anna, and finally we have Elsa. And honestly, these are really nice mini dolls. If you're into mini dolls, and even for myself as a dude, these are not that bad. Now for the quick 360 spin tour. Right here we have ourselves a little canoe. And right now I pretty much forgot what most of their names are. I don't know what it is with me and Disney characters. I just can't remember their names. I do like this canoe. It's pretty cool. And that is dark orange. As you can see, both our figures fit in there. And we got this little water park area. This is something you'd see in a water park. So we're going to have to set... I forgot what her name is. Set her off to the side here. And you got a little secret area so she can crawl in there and hide and close the door and take a nap. So that's a good place to snooze and stuff like that. Or she could just walk up here and pass all her friends just to go down the slide and fall into the void. So I like the slide on it. That's pretty fun. I think a lot of players are going to be sliding their minifigures down that. And got the stairs to go up. We got this little spinny thing here that you can put a minifigure on, and you can spin her around. And don't worry, we'll take a close-up tour in a bit. And she's got a little, I think that's a ukulele or a guitar or something. I don't know. I don't know my musical instruments. And over here on the right we have what I'm guessing is probably the tree house. It looks more like a little castle than a tree house, or maybe I'll have to add more foliage to this. I don't know. So we got the little campfire and a place to sit and plenty of mushrooms and little crystals and all that stuff. And right behind her with the accordion, little bullseye and stuff like that. Now I know who she is. That's Tinker Bell. And that's Alice. Those are the only two I know. We got a bullseye here, so I think this is probably for, and I don't know her name. I don't think that's Snow White or anything, so she's meant to sit there and shoot at that. Stuff like that, so. And it's not too bad here. Now, it is fully playable. You have access to the interior. So we got maybe a little resting area here. Here's some stairs. If you want, you can fold those up and close that door off if you want. But I don't know who anybody would do that, so just leave those open there and just kind of do that. But that's kind of a drop there. We got to be careful. And this thing right here spins too for the little binoculars. Something in there's hanging up. So I don't know what would cause that to bind there, but And then here we got ourselves a little serving area, probably to serve the lemonade. Target practice area. This thing does come out, I think. Well, I don't want to pull them out though. Well, like I said, we'll take a closer look. This is like something for target practice, and for this being an Enchanted Treehouse, why would you need that for? And then up here we have ourselves like a little, I don't know, maybe a work shop or something like that. I don't know what this would be here. These little drawers open up and stuff, and yeah. Now, as you can tell right here, we got a little zip line. How do we get down there? Well, before we really start in, you're going to have to take this branch off here. And they use her for the instructions, so I'm just going to take the bow out of her hand. And what you do is you take this, hang the bow there so you don't lose it. And then, whoa, I don't want to lose your hair. And this wig just keeps coming off. Okay, fine, you can fight with me all you want, but do it after this here. And I'm trying to think of how this went back in here. I think you're supposed to have it go down like that. And it hooks on here, like this, right here. And then you can have her just, I think I'm doing it right. Let me see here. Maybe I'm doing it wrong here. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. That makes more sense. And she falls right over there. Let's do that again. So it has to be like that. So she just hooks onto here. Not too bad. Problem is it's a little too low there. And then when she's done, she can put this back in here. And if you want, leave that bow hanging there too, and you just don't lose it, and just kind of set her somewhere and stuff like that. And then we got a little treasure chest in here with a lone map. And that chest does come out. So not too bad. And yeah, sorry about the quality on these. Like I said, I'm not really set up for all this big stuff. But all in all, though, it's you have access to all the stuff in here. And this is like a little treasure room. And this is the little thing here to control this. This could be like a little singing area, performance area and stuff. Well, let's take a closer look, because that would be a lot better than seeing a distance shot. Here's a close-up of the dark orange canoe, and I actually like this. It's pretty cool. And here we have that little water slide. This is almost something you'd see like in a water park. Step aside, we're going to look in there. And yeah, it's pretty dark in there, huh? I like these purple transparent pieces. They're opaque, but they got that nice bluish tint to them, just like this one right here. We got the stairs that go up here. And y'all have to move some mini dolls out of the way. And of course you can go down the slide. You want to go down the slide, so what she does is she'll walk up here, trip over the branch with the butterfly, and then she can get hung on the slide. You need to make a piece down here that kind of scoops up a little bit so they don't fly off. I like these pieces here too. A piece for the roof. And all the graphics you see are pretty much stickers. There was very few printed pieces. Now I do like this campfire. Just ignore the colors. Now this set does have a lot of oddball colors. So if you're looking for something with a lot of color that's in this range, then there you go. Just imagine if we were to swap all these out and make it better. Because the light blue just does not make it look like a tree house. All right, let me show you something here. Here's that turntable thing. And This does rotate around, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. And we got the second floor and the top floor. They use those right here for wall panels. That's pretty cool. Yeah, let's go this way this time here. And the reason why there's a hole there, you can actually go through there and stuff. It's kind of dark. And if you missed the treasure chest, there it is. And there's the map. So, there's where that thing hooks up. And if you're going to need to move this, you're going to need to unhook that. And there's the little lever you can use to rotate this turntable around. Not too bad. So the only way to separate these pieces, you'll have to disconnect that. A little juice bar area. There's that little knight that looks like you can just do target practice on. It's not bad. Just imagine changing out those colors and using them for your retro castles. And there's stuff in these little drawers too. So you got a pair of shears. And believe it or not, that little tile's printed. One of the very few pieces that are printed in here. I like these little diamond transparent pieces. It's kind of shiny and glittery. And sadly, that's a sticker. We all know what's going to happen to those stickers when I'm done reviewing this. And then here we got the little binoculars. And you can just do that. Just take her off here. Why does this thing stick? I don't know. See, it kind of hangs a little bit, but other than that, it's pretty good. Just imagine using that in your city for something. And plenty of leaf pieces and stuff. I'm hoping I'm not forgetting everything. There's a little day room in there with a little seat or a day bed. And this right here, here's the entry. The only sad thing about it is you're going to have to use your imagination on something. Well, something just flew off. And I will get that later. But very few things that will fall off on here. But you'll have to use your imagination because these floors are not really connected, so you're just going to have to walk out into the void just to go up to things and pretend you have stairs and stuff. So this is far from being a complete self-contained build. We'll save that for the review. Kind of dark under there. Maybe I should have hid something down in there too. But just from my perspective, especially as an adult, this was fun. It's a lot of things to do in here. And a lot of good building techniques you could use in your own creations as well. So if you get this set, it's got a lot of potential. It's just fun looking. This looks fun. Well, let's start the review. Let's start with the play value for the review. As you saw in the tour, there's plenty of things to do in here. And honestly, for this being a very playable model, I'm very satisfied with it. So whoever gets this set, honestly, I think they're going to have a few hours of playtime just with this set. And everything is easily accessible. One of the things I like about it was the sliding stuff. This is pretty interesting here. You got different levels, the stairs. There's just plenty of things to do. So this thing does have a lot of play value. As for build quality, it's average, maybe a tad above average. Everything is pretty well fixed, but I've had this piece here come off a few times. So you have to put that back on there, and sometimes it could be a bit of a pain. And this little rod here sometimes will come off too. So just picking this thing up, moving around, is going to be an issue as well, because you're going to have to disconnect this to move it around, and this could just be flying around. As far as for these branches though, I haven't had any of these come off. I've had them knock into the wall and stuff, but nothing like just flaked off of it. And even the stuff inside the interior is pretty well fixed. So I don't see anything in here flaking off. For the build experience, it was a bit different. And for me, I'd say the build experience was relaxing. It was a bit of a great build all around, and I enjoyed putting it together, especially as an adult. So don't let the colors scare you. It's a very nice build. Now, for mock value, there is a few items in here that you could use for builds. So, for example, like these binoculars here. You can just change the color of those and put those in your city, like on the boardwalk or something like that. And this fire pit here, this is pretty good. You can change the colors off of that and use that as well. I do like that accordion. And stuff for the interior as well. So some of this you could just change colors out of and use them in your city. If you want, you can even expand on this, make this larger. But I'll tell you, one thing you're not short on is mini dolls. You got plenty of mini dolls to go around in this. So there's plenty of stuff to do here. I was hoping this build was family friendly, meaning that I wish it was broken down into more equal parts so you can have more than one person build. This piece here is separate from this piece. That's pretty good. But this piece here, you would need to have one person build this while the other one builds this. Because some of these you have to join together. And after that could get pretty messy if you have more than two people. So one can build this and the accessories and this another. So it's, I wouldn't say it's quite, you know, a collaborative build. I wish it was though. I wish it was more broken down. But everything was balanced out perfectly. Now stickers was another issue. They weren't hard for the most part to put on, but some of these round tiles, they're just hard to put stickers on. Couldn't get things straight or couldn't get things in. And there was one piece in here. There was a wall element right back here behind this little work area. That was a pain to put in there. I'm surprised I got it in there, but it wasn't too bad. So for my final judgment on this set, it's I'd say it's probably an 8.5 to a 9. Yeah, the reason why such a high score is because it's playable. It's playable. It's fun to put together. I enjoyed it. Now, for $159.99, do I think the set is worth it? It would probably be worth it if it was a family build. But for what you're getting here, I kind of find it kind of steep, especially it's mini dolls. Now, there's nothing wrong with mini dolls whatsoever. I don't understand the negativity that some have towards these dolls, but if this was for minifigures, I would expect it to be a bit pricey, but for mini dolls, I think some are going to shy away from this. Now, of course, you could find other Disney characters and put them in here and stuff, and that'd be pretty cool. But for me, as is, it's a nice set, but it's a bit on the expensive side. So my final assessment is, all around, it's a nice build. It's just a little bit on the pricey side, but tell me what you guys and gals think of the set. Does it look nice? Do you like the mini dolls? Do you think it's a bit pricey, or do you think it's priced right? Let me know.